Have you ever experienced that one rare moment that you almost forget about the time? You almost forget how long it is going to take you to do certain tasks. The psychology explains it very well, which is called the flow state. The athletes calls it being in the zone. The world level performers call it a special state, but I call it a state where the human potential meets its superpower. So we will talk about the flow state, and by the end we will talk about how successful people uses it in their favor, which separates them from the ordinary ones. The question comes is that why most people don't experience that state? Not because they don't have that potential, but because they often gets distracted from their surroundings. It can be the distraction can be phones, social media, or anything. They don't ever pass that threshold. The first phase feels hard, but after some times our brain starts shifting gears and enters in a state where that task feels so enjoying, because our brain releases those good feel hormones, dopamine, endorphins. Suppose you're thinking about hitting your gym, you're thinking about waking up early in the morning, eating clean, dressing well, and carrying yourself in a confident way. But as the time passes, commitment that you had to yourself feels weak, and after some time you feel demotivated, not because you are unable to do, but because you are too used to your comfort zone that you never pass that phase. But psychology explains is that our attention also has some layers. The first layer is that you can do the normal things, you can study, you can write, you can scroll phone, but that focus is too shallow. But when you pass that first layer, you start feeling so immersed in an activity that you almost forget about the time and you start enjoying it. That's called the flow state. The second point is building skills. It can be communication, content creation, carrying yourself in a confident way, learning hard things which will pay off you in the longer term. Which simply means is that training yourself so hard, so whenever the discomfort arrives, you pass that layer and enter in a state where the hard things also feels good. That's why the flow state can be a superpower for a normal human being. So it's not about forcing yourself, it's neither about suffering for a long time, but it's more about pushing yourself from that first phase where your brain chases that easier dopamine rather than the dopamine which can long last. So guys, that was for today's video. Thank you. We will meet in the next video, and remember, only the person who has the whole control of your life is you. Nobody else can do that for you.